Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're having some technical difficulties over here, mostly audio related, but we're back up and running under our, I believe, second caution of the evening. The LSR Cup Series Boats and Hose 156 from Phoenix Raceway. Air temperature 72 degrees, very low, 38% humidity. Track temp. 75 degrees. So nice and easy, not a big deal with these 10-6 Cup cars. Again, we are about 24 laps into tonight's event. Little audio issue to start. I had a microphone failure. Luckily, we do carry a backup here at HBR TV. So again, we are up and running. My apologies for missing the start and qualifying of the race, but we should be here good to go for the duration of the event. Zach Millett has led some laps here through Blaze, now already into the pit lane. This caution we are under here, I think it is our second of started right at the beginning. No, this is listed as the first caution just because we got into the session. I had to dump back out, but I believe it is our second yellow. We'll take a look at it here. Lap 2, that involved. He just gets the power down a little too soon, gets the car crossed up. Little tank slap, little overcorrect, saves it again. Another tank slap, and then you see he hits the outside safer barrier. Almost had the number 26 Camaro saved, but now some right side damage, and he does get collected there. Missed that. Mike Fahey, the 19, collects the 26 down low. That puts us under this caution. Second of the evening. Whole lot of data to go back on as we just get to the session. Now, didn't miss anything other than just before we were to go live, all audio input and output. You guys were not able to hear me. I wasn't able to hear you. It was just a comedy of errors. But never mind that. Pace car peels off the racetrack, goes down the pit lane. We're going to go back to the green flag here. Now, don't forget, we've talked about this in previous HBR TV events. Pace car peels off the track, exiting turn 2. See, around the backstretch. Long ways to go as the start-finish line is just past turn 3 into that dog leg. Got to go all the way around the racetrack before we can get into that Geico restart zone. Green flag waves. Zach Millett is in the throttle. Crosses the stripe, gets a good restart. Oh, trouble into turn number 2, turn 3. Justin Johnson involved in this one. Jonathan Arnn tied up in it. It's like possibly the 726 of Michael Cole. Ken Couch is in it. This is a big one here, getting into turn number 3, lap 28. Get a look at it. Looks like someone got hooked in the right rear. Justin Johnson here on the bottom, the black, white, and blue machine, that Ford in behind the 90. You've got Cody Anderson tucked up in behind. He's going to go to the bottom here. His contact. Oh, Justin was diving into the corner, didn't realize Cody was there. Cody was starting to go to the bottom, just poor timing. Clips the 10 of Justin Johnson, sends him into the wall. Others involved, of course, in that. Jonathan Arnn piles into that one late. Spotters on lunch break for that one. Caution on the speedway another time here at Phoenix Raceway. Johnson a little worse for wear out there on the track. Yeah, we do have fast repairs in this series, in this league, so he's going to be able to get that machine repaired and back out there. And not too familiar with what they ended up having happen the first laps of the race. I know we had a caution real early, I think 6 laps in. Bobby Hall Jr. in the stream chat. Bummed I should have got in it tonight. You're darn right, Bobby. You should have. Even Dan Worthington, you should have popped in here. Where are you guys? Come on. Thanks for joining us in the stream, guys. Certainly do appreciate that every week. Again, on the matter of fast repairs, Justin Johnson had one available, and we're not sure if he was involved in that early race incident. So if he didn't use it, he still got one for later. Car certainly is damaged, but not terrible looking. Might be able to make this one go a little ways and save that fast repairs. Really neat. So we're going to try this again. Zach Millett restart here at the front of the field, lap 30 of 156. Bobby Hall Jr. working on the real car. Can't say I blame you there. Green flag drops. Zach Millett back in the throttle. Cuts the dog leg down the bottom. And we got caution once again. Maybe Jonathan Arnn involved in this one. Slow down the backstretch. Not sure what happened.
Did not hear him call that caution. 43. Need you to check your radio connection. Check the one on your headset, on your headboard actually, on your left-hand side, on your headrest. 1, 2, 3, loud and clear. You got a good copy? 10-4.
All right, let's take a look at number 43, Jonathan Arnn involved in this caution. A little wider here. Jonathan, just very similar to the previous incident we saw of Keaton Burnett, jumping in the gas a little bit too soon with a little too much wheel into that machine. Around she goes. So on edge are these Gen 6 Cup cars. Not quite as bad as the current gen, the next gen, the Gen 7, or however you want to look at it, but I don't know, I'm kind of partial to these Gen 6 cars. Michael Cole, wish I could have been there. Couldn't get the session to load on my end. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, Michael Cole, since it seems every few months when they do one of these season updates with iRacing, you get a whole bunch of updates and then a bunch of fixes for all the bugs that they create. Unfortunately, you might be a victim of that. I see you got into the session enough to trip the timing and scoring, but not enough to get the thing to load up for you. So that's unfortunate. We'll see you next week. Zach Millett timing in as well. Car's loose. See that. Get a long enough run, though, will tighten up. We have found, even in these Gen 6 cars, especially here at Phoenix, depending on what setup they're working with. Now, it might be just the general fix or the open fix. I'm not sure. But one is significantly looser than the other to favor the long run. They do start to build tight as the run goes on. They will tend to get a little bit tighter, especially here under cloud cover as the track temperature stays low. Pace car lights are off, so we're going to go green this time by. Again, the field has to work all the way down the backstretch through turn 3 and get to that restart zone before we can take the green flag.
Green
flag waves. Zach Millett in the throttle. He's off and running again. Yeah, Bobby Hall Jr., as far as my audio goes, I don't know if you caught it here late, but we've had some major audio-related issues. I am on a cheap backup mic. The primary went down just as we were about to go live. We're doing the best we can. Bobby Hall, let's try this one again here. We turned off the expander and compressor. You may hear a little bit of background noise because of that, but hopefully it makes things a little more consistent. So keep a listen here. We're going to keep calling the action here from Phoenix as we try to, I don't know, use this as a test session on my end. Who knows? But nonetheless, Zach Millett still out in front. Strong run by Sean Roberts in the 66. But Drew Blaze, he's coming in a hurry. Started up the 9th position here. Not a great start for the one. We saw him fastest in practice, I do believe. But he's fighting Sean Roberts right now for the 2nd spot. Drops it down, cuts the dog leg. He's going to take that 2nd spot and start headhunting for Zach Millett. Maybe not, though. Sean Roberts back on the attack. Not able to stay up in that P2 position. Does drop back to 3rd. We'll say Sean Roberts, though. Take a look at this. Sponsors on the side of that number 66. As soon as I say that, it goes behind the billboard. There it is. Used to be just a black and red canvas, but now he's got some stickers on that machine. It looks good out there. K Designs, I guess it is. Shenandoah Shine Company on the hood. Good-looking paint scheme out there. Meanwhile, Drew Blaze, though, he's gone around Sean Roberts and quickly cutting into the lead of Zach Millett, but the caution is back out. Mike Fahey and Ken Couch involved in this one on the backstretch. Big damage for Ken Couch. Doesn't look too good for Mike Fahey either. Pretty girl on the hood of that machine isn't so pretty anymore. The 19. A little worse for wear as it gets into turn 3. Let's try and get a look at the replay, see exactly what happened. Mike Fahey and Ken Couch. Bobby Hall Jr., how's that audio now? We playing with the knobs anymore or no? Yeah, Mike Fahey, a similar situation. Gets to the throttle too soon. Seems to be the common trend here off turn number 2. Get to that gas, put the power down too soon, and Ken Couch just annihilates the 19. Hard hit for Ken Couch. Meanwhile, Zach Millett pits as the leader. Drew Blaze stays out on the track again. He pit at lap 24, a little bit off sequence, somewhat short field with the incident we had early on. We had Michael Cole not make the session, unfortunately. Kevin Blue, Jesse Redding, Jonathan Arnn, Ken Couch, Mike Fahey, those guys all wrapped up in different incidents on track. So either burning the fast repair early and now trying to get that machine fixed has left us with only a handful of cars out on the speedway. Top 9, lead lap, Drew Blaze, Sean Roberts, Chris Goins, Keaton Burnett, David Ballard, Justin Johnson, Joe Tucker, Cody Anderson, Zach Millett. Kevin Blue rounds out the top 10 there. He's a lead lap car now. I believe he got the lucky dog on that caution. Zach Millett's going to sit there in the 9th position. Ken Couch listed 11th. Not sure if he's on the lead lap or not. Ken Couch, a lead lap car. So is the 721 of Jesse Redding. Jonathan Arnn. And then past that, we've got Mike Fahey, Michael Cole. So it looks like we've got everybody still on the lead lap. It didn't look it there for a moment, but I think we're in good shape now. Drew Blaze has taken over the top spot through that cycle of the caution. Again, Millett hit the pit lane, so now he's going to have a little bit of a tire advantage over Drew Blaze. Again, Blaze pit at lap 24. He was the only car to pit at that point. Now it's kind of the other way around. Zach Millett, the only guy really up in contention that decided to take the opportunity to pit. 14.8 8-second stop for Zach Millett, so 4 tires and fuel for the 315. Drew Blaze holds the field down as they work into the Geico restart zone.
Green.
Green flag waves, 42 for now, 43 laps go on the board. Same as we've seen the 315. Drew Blaze skips the dog leg, cuts the shortcut, takes the shortcut. Sean Roberts up to second. Chris Goins now to third. Keaton Burnett, Justin Johnson, even after that hard lick, he's up to the 5th spot. Bobby Hall Jr. confirming the audio. Sounds better. Thank you, sir. Drew Blaze, lightning pace right now, stretching that advantage over Sean Roberts to almost a full second. 45 laps in here at Phoenix. Meanwhile, Zach Millett is on a tear since the restart. He's cutting through the field like a hot knife through butter, up to P4, working on the 26 of Keaton Burnett. Again, keep in mind, Zach did pit. He did take tires, so that's going to be a significant advantage for the 315 as he works his way back up into the top 3. Tucks in behind Keaton Burnett. No top 3 just yet. Keaton Burnett pitted lap 24, so similar tire sets for himself and Drew Blaze. Millett disposes of him relatively quickly, though, sets his sights on the 66 of Sean Roberts. Zach Millett's last lap, a 26.77 to Drew Blaze's 26.90. Blaze still running some pretty significant laps out there, especially on the older tire set compared to Millett. Just a 10.5 off, really. Millett in traffic, though, has caught the 66 of Roberts. This is for the second position. Looks across the start-finish line, cuts the dog leg. Both drivers do. Millett a little bit further down to the bottom. Takes P2. Now let's see if he can reel in the 1 of Blaze. We're 50 laps in, almost the third distance from Phoenix Raceway. Drew Blaze seemed to have the pace in the practice. He was almost 3-4 tenths faster than Zach Millett at one point. Millett did knock it down to about 2.5 tenths, but was never able to knock Drew Blaze off the top spot in the practice session. Again, we didn't catch qualifying due to our technical issue, but it seems that Blaze does have the pace. In conversations with these drivers, it seemed that Drew was the one to watch and the one favored to win here tonight. As it stands right now, he's got a 2.5 second advantage over second place running Zach Millett. 52 laps go up on the board. It's been about 26 laps since Drew Blaze has stopped 4 tires. It's been about 12 laps since Zach Millett got his tire set. We'll see that come into play if this run continues green long enough. I'm kind of impressed we've seen it go this long already. Many drivers struggling with the exit of turn number 2, trying to get that power down before you've got the nose pointed. Usually results in that car wanting to swap ends. We've seen it a few times already in the early running. Again, only a third of the way through this race. Chris Goins in the 5th spot, just in behind Keaton Burnett. Chris Goins still working on Keaton Burnett for that spot. He seems to have some pace, at least on entry to turn 3. Keaton aggressively turns left down through the dog leg. He takes a shortcut just about every time. As we rode on board, we thought he was going to get a little sideways through the dog leg the last time by. Managed to keep it straight. Little wiggle off of turn number 2 the last time as well. But again, starting to put some distance between himself and Chris Goins once again. So Kevin Blue and Jesse Redding had some trouble on track. Jesse is still trying to gather it back up. He is slow on the bottom of the racetrack with significant damage. Caution does not come out as of yet. He's going to try and nurse the 721 back to the pit box. I think he might be done for the day because he was involved in an earlier wreck. I believe that was the Justin Johnson, Jonathan Arnn, and others involved. Cody Anderson kind of part of the catalyst to that one, but Jesse Redding into the pit lane. Kevin Blue as well, somewhat damaged on the 54. Doesn't look terrible. I don't think Kevin is in the car at the moment either. Let's get a look at the replay, see exactly what happened between these two. Lap 54. Now that's Kevin in the pit lane. We're going to go full speed. This might have been coming out of the pits. Maybe Jesse just got loose and collected the 54. Oh, contact there. All right, so let's back that up, see what happened with these two. Full speed here again. Jesse's got a mechanical problem. Engine failure on the 726. Tries to get down off the racing surface. Doesn't see the 54 exiting pit lane, and they meet in the middle. What an unfortunate event for those two drivers. Tough break. Kevin Blue's going to jump back in the race car. It looks like he's going to throw some tires on it. Give it a shot here. Meanwhile, Drew Blaze still out in front. Zach Millett cutting into that lead. It's now 1.3 seconds back to the 315. Zach Millett still closing down the gap. It's a second to the back bumper of Drew Blaze. It was 1.6 just a couple of laps ago. Again, now it's 22 laps since Zach Millett took his tires. Significantly more for Drew Blaze. That's going to come into play, may already be coming into play. It's right on board with Zach as he tries to catch Drew Blaze. Lap by lap, Millett does get a little bit closer. He's half a second away. One thing to catch Drew Blaze, another to get around, even with some fresher tires. It's not going to be easy to make that move and make that pass for the top spot. Top two work down the back straightaway with a huge gap back to third place. Sean Roberts, it's 8.1 seconds back to third. Zach Millett is there. He's caught Drew Blaze. Car length between the two. He's got to find a way and set up a pass if he wants to take this top spot. Again, we're only 65 laps in here at Phoenix Raceway. This could be a battle we're going to see reform and reshape itself here in the latter stages of the event. Millett said he is not going to be able to beat Drew Blaze on pace alone. He's going to have to find a way strategy-wise. So far, this strategy, at least in the first third of the race, might be paying off. Millett is right there to the back bumper of Drew Blaze, not even a car length off the back. Zach Millett drops it to the bottom into turn number one. Blaze slides up the track with some lap traffic. Ken Couch, Jonathan Arnn into the mix too. Little wiggle from Drew Blaze off turn two. Millett still slides back in behind. Lap cars go to the top. Leaders go to the bottom. Blaze and Millett doing battle here. Blaze doing a fantastic job keeping Zach in his rearview mirror, or at least just to the inside. While this battle continues, we do have Kevin Blue out of the care center. Let's get a word with the driver of the number 54. Kevin, out of this one here early. Fluke incident on the backstretch at pit out. What did you see from your end?
Nah, man, Jesse was just mad that I was leading, in the rear of the field. He just wanted to pass me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, man. Jesse, I think he was having some car trouble. He went down to the bottom, and, right before I went in the pits, I kind of spun out there, hit the wall, so I had to take my fast repair. I know I was a couple laps down, but yeah, man. Hey, it happens, man. He didn't see me coming out, and his spotter didn't tell him anything. So, oh well, it's not a big deal.
It is what it is. I mean, we saw some smoke coming out of the back of the 726, and he was trying to drop it down out of race traffic, but it appears neither one of you guys saw each other, and of course you just meet in that perfect opportunity. How badly damaged was the car? Was it worth trying to fix at this stage, or are you out for good?
I got 3 more minutes of required repairs, 2 more minutes of optional. So I mean, at this point, it's just a wash. So I'm just gonna hang out, watch the broadcast, and see what happens between Zach and Drew.
Well, it'd be really interesting to see, before we let you get out of here, who's your pick between these two? Is it going to be Blaze or Millett? Because Zach said so himself. Blaze has him covered on pace, so Millett's going to have to do some strategy here. Even on the fresher tires, though, he's struggling to get by Drew.
Yeah. Man, it's looking like he's making a move here, but I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a toss-up. I mean, Drew's really good at tracks like this. It's really hard to beat him on these shorter tracks, especially when you gotta, it's not just pedal to the metal the whole time. I mean, Drew's just really good at these tracks, so I'd have to pick Drew. If I had to pick, gotta go with my teammate.
Can't go wrong picking a teammate. Certainly not going to offend anybody for sure.
That's right.
Kevin,
that's right.
Thanks for talking to us, man. Sorry to hear you out of this thing early, and good luck next week. I think it's Dover, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like Dover, so I'm excited about that.
Well, good luck there. I'll be in Watkins Glen, so that's going to be a miss for me, but we'll be back for Daytona for the final.
Hey, thanks, Steve.
Have a good one, Kev. It's Kevin Blue again, driver of the 54. Out of this one early. We continue to watch this battle out front between Zach Millett and Drew Blaze. Tires must equalize after a certain amount of time. Drew Blaze, he pitted lap 24 and took his tires. Millett pitted lap 40, about 16 laps later. And he's still not able to do anything with Drew. Last lap for the one. was a 27.82 to Millett's 27.79, so they are right in the ballpark of each other. But Millett just cannot clear the one. Get to the inside, go door to door there for a moment, and he catches the wall off turn 2. Zach trying to give it all he's got. I think this is just part of the strategy for Drew Blaze. Try and get the 315 to burn off the freshness that he's got left on those Goodyear Racing Eagles and see if we get things equaled up. Certainly seems to be working thus far as Blaze continues to stay out in front. Now Millett's going to take a peek to the high side, try and switch it up a little bit. Seems that it's not working on the bottom. Loose off turn 2, straightens it out. Now take a look to the inside again into turn number 3. Gets to the bottom, right to the yellow line, slides up a bit and has to back out of it. Blaze slides up the track a bit as well. Maybe thought he was going to get contact from Millett. This is the battle on the track to be watching right now. Drew Blaze real loose off the corner exit, almost contact between our leaders. Zach Millett's going to take advantage. He dives to the bottom, cuts the dog leg big time, takes it to the point. New leader here, lap 78, Zach Millett back out in front. Drew Blaze hangs on the second spot. Again, tire differences between these two drivers, likely what's coming into play here. We're going to have more pit stops, though. We are past the halfway point of the race. Chris Goins still maintaining the 5th position. Keith Burnett, Sean Roberts 3rd and 4th. In behind Chris Goins, it is Justin Johnson. Again, remember, Justin was involved in that hard impact right after we got onto the air here. Again, technical difficulties late coming to the race. Justin Johnson was tied up in a wreck there with contact with Cody Anderson. Jonathan Arnn got into it late as well, but Justin Johnson still making the best of it. Still some damage to that Mustang, but he runs in the 6th position. Again, we're not real sure. Justin may or may not have a fast repair remaining. I don't know if he was involved in anything prior to us going live. But nonetheless, making lemonade with his lemons here, running P6 right now with 81 laps on the board. Roberts again still looking stout, up into the top 5, 4th position, the meat in the sandwich between Keaton Burnett and Chris Goins. Keaton's up 3 spots on the day, running position 3. Again, Roberts 4th, Goins 5th. Roberts taking a look to the bottom here, cutting the dog leg as well. Jonathan Arnn, the lap car up top, 43. This really is the battle on track right now. Keaton Burnett, Sean Roberts, Chris Goins. Zach Millett still out in front. Again, Millett started in the 10th position. You gotta wonder if Millett and Blaze both had issues in qualifying. Didn't see anything there because we weren't able to go live at the time. But Millett started 10th. Blaze started 9th. You see Sean Roberts, Chris Goins hitting the pit lane here. This is a scheduled green flag stop. We had troubles early on with caution after caution after caution, and now all of a sudden we run clean and green for quite a while since lap 40. 46 laps under the green flag or so. Sean Roberts down the pit lane, as is Chris Goins. Chris Goins, a little bit new livery tonight, the Lending Tree I-Lending number 6. Nice and smooth into the pit box. So Keith Burnett also down the pit road. Jonathan Arnn. Out the front of the field, Zach Millett still out in front, putting a lap on Chris Goins. It won't last long as Goins has got the fresh rubber underneath that number 6. Can't imagine Zach's going to give him too much of a fight here. Goins can just hug the bottom and drive on by. Certainly able to put the power down a lot sooner than Zach Millett can at this stage of the race. I have to watch now Drew Blaze when he's going to peel off the racing surface and take his green flag stop. Again, he pit at lap 24. Trying to see who else is out there that pit around that same time. I believe those that had are hitting the pit road now. Dave Ballard, Kevin Blue's already down there as he's out of the race. Real loose, Keaton Burnett off turn number 2. Don't know if anybody caught that. We just saw a piece of it as they went off the corner. And Keaton Burnett, he stopped lap 86, so he's going to be coming back in a hurry to take that lap back away. And Burnett running in the 8th position. Again, had to pit under the green. That's the cycle that we are on. Last caution came out about lap 39, lap 40. Been under the green flag ever since. Burnett drops it to the bottom. Millett's going to let him go. Again, no sense to battle hard here. You're on older tires. These guys have the advantage over the leader right now. They're going to get their laps back the hard way. That's just the way that it is. 93 laps in of 156. Zach Millett still out in front. Drew Blaze now, he's into the pit lane. Our second place running machine. He's down pit road. Again, Drew Blaze has a little bit more pace than Zach here this afternoon. He's about 2 or 3 tenths quicker in practice. Again, qualifying a completely different issue. Both drivers unable to make it into the top 5, but strategies varying between these two drivers. Drew Blaze, he's kind of short pitting and getting off sequence with Zach Millett. Zach's trying to do the same thing, really, just because if you continue to follow what Drew Blaze has been doing, you're probably not going to beat him today. Again, Zach had mentioned he's not got the pace comparative to Drew Blaze, at least not here at Phoenix. He's going to have to find another way to take home the top spot. Otherwise, he's fighting for second and second alone. Zach Millett, again, he is now down the pit lane. He's getting back on the same sequence as Drew Blaze. Very surprising to see. This might be, I don't really know what the decision is here. I know Blaze is going to go out and have a lot more pace, but we saw this happen the other way around when Millett had the 15 or so lap fresher tires than Drew Blaze. He still couldn't complete the pass. So I'm surprised that Millett is down this early. Figured he would have run at least another 10 or 15. Not the case as Joe Tucker takes over the top spot. Tucker also needs to pit still. Millett on pit lane as the second place machine, still as the second place machine. Drew Blaze 3rd, Roberts 4th, Goins 5th, Keith Burnett 6th. Joe Tucker sporting the Bush Dog Brew paint scheme. I might even have the wrong paint schemes in here because we had to do a big, giant, hard reset. I know some of the paints look like they're supposed to, but with Joe Tucker, who knows? He very well could be in that Bush Light Doggy Brew Mustang. Which is quite all right. Nothing wrong with dog brew as long as it's for the dog. Bit of a battle going on for that position on track. Not so much in the running order. Ken Couch on the bottom, the 08 machine. Ken Couch, the 9th place running entry. Couch with fresher tires, though. He's going to sail on by Joe Tucker here. Get one of his laps back. Joe doing a good job, though, fighting him off. Again, Tucker's last stop was at lap 32. What would be really nice for Joe right now would be a caution. Not quite sure the full race distance as far as the fuel load is concerned. If they could go another 57 laps on a tank of fuel, but either way, Joe has not made his scheduled green flag stop. He's really one of the only guys out there that hasn't. Zach Millett, Drew Blaze, Sean Roberts, Chris Goins, Keaton Burnett back to the 6th position. Those are your lead lap cars. So when Tucker pits, he's likely going to lose a lap if it's done under the green flag. If a caution comes out, he'll have that advantage. He can take that pit work under the yellow flag, not lose a lap, get the tail end of the field, restart this thing in about 6th or 7th spot, depending on lucky dogs and so on and so forth. So I think Joe is just going to ride this one out. I would at this stage. Zach Millett closing fast, though. He's less than a second behind Joe Tucker. Got Jonathan Arnn in between. Millett goes to the bottom here on the 43. He's going to be back to Joe Tucker here in not even a half lap. Millett on the bottom, Tucker up top. Millett with fresher tires. Doesn't matter for Joe, though. He's going to stay out there, I think, for a little bit as Millett takes over the top spot. Next driver that Joe's got to worry about is Drew Blaze. Drew isn't too far in behind either. Again, meeting the sandwich. Jonathan Arnn. Jonathan goes to the bottom. Let's Blaze go on by. He's going to go to the bottom with Joe Tucker up top. Now move Blaze to the 2nd spot. Tucker now back to 3rd. And Keaton Burnett's had some trouble on track again. What has happened to Keaton? Certainly some damage on the number 26, more than before. See what we can find here. Same as we saw earlier, to the throttle too soon. He's got some quick hands. He caught it, but caught it a little too much, and then the momentum carried him to the safer barrier. We do not get a caution for it. A tough break for Keaton Burnett, not having one of the nights he's used to having, fighting for the top spots. Zach Millett out in front again. Drew Blaze back to 2nd. 1.2 seconds between these two. We'll ride on board with Drew Blaze. Almost looks like the Drew's losing some ground here. Now that very well could be some strategy as well. Both of these drivers pit within a couple laps of each other. 92 for Blaze, 94 for Millett. He's Could be fuel strategy. This could be saving tires to the end. Hard to say. Drew Blaze, again, definitely had the pace on Zach Millett, at least early on in the night. Joe Tucker hanging on to that third spot nicely. Sean Roberts, in fact, 7 seconds behind the 13. Joe Tucker still hoping for that caution so we can take his final stop of the afternoon. I could assume at this point, if he does one more stop, he should be golden to go to the end. Thought he had it there with the incident with Keaton Burnett. Unfortunately for Keaton, he was able to get out of traffic relatively quickly. Keaton, that is, was able to get out of traffic, unfortunately for Joe Tucker. Caution did not come out. And here we are, lap 109. Joe Tucker still in a top 3 position. Sean Roberts, though, now starting to close that gap. 6.5 seconds back to the 66. Tucker working some lap traffic. Ken Couch to the high side. See Cody Anderson having some connection problems as well. He's blinking in and out. You'd think he's using Kevin Liu's internet these days. Just kidding, Kevin. Oh, Keaton Burnett in trouble again. Hard impact to the outside wall. Keeps it straight again. Too bad we don't get debris cautions because there is definitely a front end missing off of the number 26, and it's laying in the middle of the backstretch. Stay under the green flag, though. Keaton saves that one. No replay of it, but we saw him tank slap and wiggle again off corner exit, still trying to get everything he can out of that car. Loose off corner exit again. He's going to hit the wall. Got to imagine the body panels the way they are right now. Got to be affecting the handling on Keaton Burnett's machine. He's going to try and limp this one home, but we've still got a ways to go. 45 laps before we call it good. Millett still out in front again, stretching his advantage once again on Drew Blaze. 2.1 seconds now back to the 1. This has been the battle we've been watching here, not just tonight, but for the last 3, 4, 5 races or so. Zach Millett and Drew Blaze both lightning fast out of these races. It's been between these two quite a few times, and it's starting to make you wonder how are they going to find a way around each other. They're within a couple of tenths every week. It's going to come down to strategy. You've got to wonder if Drew Blaze is pulling one right now because he definitely has the pace. But he's 2.5 seconds back and falling off the back bumper of Zach Millett. Car looks clean. I can't imagine there's anything wrong with it. Seems fine to me. Is this a plan? Is he saving fuel? Is he saving tires? We don't know. But we'll just have to see. Stay with us. See how this thing comes down to it at the finish line. Who's going to take that checkered flag? Maybe we'll get a surprise out of this too. Could be Sean Roberts, Chris Goins. Joe Tucker finally in the pits. Waited as long as he could. He's going to have to stop for his final pit stop of the day. Now again, pitting under the green flag here. He's definitely going to go down a lap, but he's going to go back out with fresh tires with about 41 laps to settle it, so he can certainly make it all the way to the end. He should be able to at least chew up some of these guys that pit prior to him with him having fresher tires. Down and away, 4-tire stop for Joe Tucker. 16.3 seconds. Might have had some repairs done on that Mustang while he sat in the box. Not the fastest of stops, but nevertheless, down and away. So now the top four: Zach Millett, Drew Blaze, Sean Roberts, Chris Goins. Those are your lead lap entries. Lap 118. Long stretch of green flag. We got the green flag back at about lap 46. That was our final caution so far. Had a couple opportunities to possibly get a caution, mainly Keaton Burnett. I'm not picking on you, Keaton. But he's been involved in a couple. One that brought out the yellow and a couple that didn't. Joe Tucker did lose 2 laps on that green flag stop. He's going to have to cycle back through and take one of them back. Do it on his own. He's not too far off the back bumper of Drew Blaze. Couldn't catch Drew in a hurry here. We'll be curious to see how well he can dispose of the one and make his way back towards the front. Drew Blaze loose in the middle of the corner. Has to check up a little bit there. Tucker gets right to the back bumper, takes a look to the inside. Drew is loose on entry again. Might just be how he drives that thing. Might be comfortable hanging the right rear out. Oh, contact, a little bit of rubbing between Joe Tucker and Drew Blaze. Not sure if Tucker knew he was there or not. Maybe he came up a little further than he expected him to, but nonetheless, contact made between the 13 and the 1, albeit minor. They continue on. But it's certainly not helping the 1 as he's going to have to catch the 43 of Arn here. That's going to cost him a little time as well. It's a 4.3 second advantage now for Zach Millett. Further back, Sean Roberts in the 3rd position. He is 23 seconds back from leader Zach Millett. They're running 26, 27-second laps. So Zach Millett, Drew Blaze on a tear, closing in on the backside of the top 5 cars. Turn 1. Deficit between him and Drew Blaze starting to shrink finally. 4.5 seconds back to Drew Blaze, but maybe a problem for Drew. Lost 3/10 in the middle of the corner. He's got some traffic to dispose of. That may have come into play already. Cost him some time into turns 1 and 2. Ken Couch in the 08 just up ahead of the 1. He takes the high line, gives Drew the bottom. Next on the list is the 721 of Jesse Redding. Now the deficit is 5.1 seconds. Don't remember exactly what lap Joe Tucker pit on, and why are we talking about Joe Tucker in 7th spot? And because it seems that he was one of the guys that went the furthest between stops. He pitted lap, I think it was 34 or 40, trying to get an eyeball on it. Let's see if I can look back through and find out when exactly he pit. But nonetheless, it was between 74 and 80 laps. Now, there was a caution in the middle of that as well to extend things for him. But I'm curious when the leaders, or if the leaders, A, have enough to make it all the way to the end, at least on the fuel that they started with here, or at least the fuel they topped off with, or if tires are going to be that much of an advantage to take. Lap 129 at 156. It's going to be decision time. You got to think these guys are starting to wonder, do I have enough? Do I have enough tire under this thing to even be competitive? Do I stop? Do I try to drag it all the way out to the end? It's a tough call. It may just come down to who had the practice, who can do the quick math in their head, make that decision. Because again, in iRacing, you're your own crew chief most of the time. I know sometimes you might have a spotter in your ear kind of giving you some guidance. That is an option here with iRacing, but not everybody does it. So if you don't have that, you're kind of making your own decisions behind the wheel of the race car. You're turning laps, but you're also trying to figure out, all right, what am I going to do for this strategy? What do I do to beat Zach Millett? What do I do to beat Blaze? How do I be the fast guy out here? What's most important? Pace, strategy. It varies from track to track. You've got to make all those decisions sometimes at a moment's notice. Oh, yeah, and dodge the wrecks, because sometimes that happens right in front of you while you're trying to cut through some lap traffic. There's a whole lot to this racing game that many people just don't think about. Here we are, 25 to go. Drew Blaze in the second spot. His last lap at 27.96. 10th and a half slower than Zach Millett the last time by. Last pit stops, lap 92 for Blaze, 94 for Millett. I still think they're going to have to make one more stop. I don't have anything really to base it on other than Joe Tucker. Again, he pit, I think it was at lap 34, I want to say. He stretched it quite a distance. I think it was 80 laps. So Keaton Burnett crashed again. Let's take a look at that. Looks like a modified almost out there. And same thing, loose off turn 2. Now he doesn't save it. He pounds the inside wall, and we still don't get a caution. I think that's going to do it, though, for Keaton Burnett. He is still in the pit lane. Sean Roberts running in the third position. Got 2.2 seconds back to the 6 of Chris Goins, who is just now going a lap down. Jesse Redding in the pits for his final stop. Zach Millett into turn number 3. Going to see 20 laps to go. It's just a matter of when, I think, does Millett hit the pit lane. Does he wait till Drew Blaze pulls off? That seemed to be the strategy the last time. Blaze came down, and a lap or two later, Millett hit the box. Sean Roberts, however, he may be in before either of these two. He's about to get lapped here shortly as it is. And he also pit last lap 85 to the leader's 92.94. See Roberts there, third spot, but he's up in front of Zach Millett by about 10 car lengths, maybe less. Andrew Locke in the stream chat. Stream looks mint. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You should have been here when we tried to start when I lost all of my audio, microphone included. We think the culprit is a bad mic because I'm working on the old school microphone now. It doesn't sound as great, but at least it works. Zach Millett now working on the 66 of Sean Roberts. He's trying to put the third place machine a lap down here with 17 to go. It just shows you the pace that these guys, Zach Millett, Drew Blaze, really have out here. I know we've had a long stretch of green flag run. It's been since lap 46 when we went back under the green flag. Gone quite a ways since then as we were working with 16 laps to go of this 156 lap event. Sean Roberts is no slouch either. Again, he led the points here at one point this season. Still having a strong run here. Top 3 finishing spot for Sean Roberts so far, as long as he can keep that thing out in front of the 6 of Chris Goins. Again, that's still the question, though. Zach Millett and Drew Blaze, do they pit one more time with 15 laps to go? It's a gamble. Now, if you've got enough fuel in the thing, you stay out. There's just no two ways about it. If Drew Blaze pits now just for tires because he wants to try and get Zach, it's just not going to happen. We're going to lose 2 laps in the pits. You can't make that back up. Even if we get cautions, okay, he might get the 1 back, provided that he is that first car 1 lap down or 2 laps down, depending. But it seems that right now, I think Sean Roberts would be the first one to get a lucky dog. If we got the caution, that would just put the top 3 on the lead lap. Again, newcomers to the stream and watching this, Zach Millett and Drew Blaze are just that good, okay? They're not going out and beating on these guys because they're terrible. Sean Roberts, Chris Goins, Joe Tucker, Cody Anderson, Justin Johnson, and so on throughout the field. These guys are all talented iRacers. They can get it done, but Zach Millett and Drew Blaze are just a cut above the rest in many cases. It's going to be tough to beat either of these guys as the season continues on. Again, only 2 more races left in the season. We've got Dover next week, which, again, unfortunately for the viewing audience, I will not be able to broadcast it. I don't know if Justin has a backup plan for it or not. I will be out of town attending a real race, actually in Watkins Glen. More for pleasure, not for business, but I will be back for the season finale at Daytona. So we're not walking away. And then keep in mind, in August, we've got the Truck Series coming back here for the Lonestar Racing League. So that'll be fun to watch as well. Great schedule that Justin's got lined up. Even got a road course at Watkins Glen. That's my personal favorite, of course. That should be a fun one to watch. We've got 11 laps to go here at Phoenix, though. Zach Millett still out in front. Drew Blaze second. The battle's between these two. They're the only 2 cars on the lead lap, but Millett's got 6.3 seconds, and it sounds like Millett might be clutching it. Let's see if he's trying to save some fuel once again. Let's go on board with the 315. Yes, indeed, Zach Millett pushing in that clutch. Entry to turn 1 and off of 2. He's coasting through 1 and 2, trying to save some fuel. I don't know if he's got enough to make it. If he's saving fuel now, he might just now be realizing it's going to be tight. Unfortunately, you can't put fuel back in it without hitting the pit lane. If you're going to save fuel and try and stretch it to the end, that procedure may have needed to start many laps ago. And it may have started many laps ago for Drew Blaze. As we see, he is 6.5 seconds behind the 315 of Zach Millett. He may have been saving fuel from the beginning. We talked about that laps ago. It says, man, we don't know what's going on. Drew Blaze is just losing pace here. He can't catch Zach Millett. He can't keep up. He can't do this. He can't do that. Is he saving tires? Is he saving fuel? Well, it very well could be that Drew Blaze may have been starting that fuel save early on in the run. So in case Zach Millett, who is known to be a full send kind of guy, doesn't always save his stuff. He's got great pace, but a lot of times he's hard on equipment, can chew up the Goodyear Racing Eagles. Drew Blaze now, if he's saved enough fuel to hammer down the rest of the way, that could spell trouble for Zach Millett. Still has 6.5 seconds to work with 7 laps to go. We'll see if Zach can hang on for the win, or if Drew Blaze can reel him in and pass and take over the top spot here for a late race pass for the win. Doesn't sound like Drew Blaze is saving fuel, at least not anymore. Looking at lap times, though, Blaze is about a tenth faster than Zach Millett. We've only got 5 laps to go. Either we're going to need something drastic to happen, maybe a caution, an incident with Zach Millett, even still a caution, may just even it up for these two because they're the only couple on the lead lap, at least for now. Deficit to Drew Blaze is growing, 6.8 seconds. Last lap for Zach Millett, 28.12. Drew Blaze, 28.13. Do these leaders have enough fuel in the tank to make it to the finish? They've got a 1-lap lead on the field, if not more on some of the rest. Do they risk it? Do they take the chance? Man, does Zach Millett look slow through that corner. Millett a tenth and a half slower than Drew Blaze the last time. 6.2 seconds the advantage. Back to the 1. 2 laps to go for Zach Millett. Did he save enough? Passes through here, turns 1 and 2. Car not even running. Is he out? Nope, back in the throttle off of turn 2, down the backstretch. Lap and a half to go for Millett. Big difference between top 2 positions. 28.36 for Millett, 27.86 for Blaze. He's got the power down. Last lap, white flag waves. Caution won't make a difference now. Millett down through the dogleg. Doesn't cut it short this time. Again, coasting into turns 1 and 2. Does he have enough in the tank? Does he have enough to get back to the checkered flag? Did he save enough? Did he put the pace down when he had to? Zach Millett, not known for saving his stuff. So far, he's into turns 3 and 4. Car's not running. Wiggles off for a bit, crosses the start-finish line, and he brings it home. Saves enough fuel. He's going to win here at Phoenix. Drew Blaze is going to roll into the 2nd spot, crosses the line, spins the car. Got to be frustration for Drew Blaze. He definitely had the pace over Zach Millett today. But Zach Millett worked the strategy, saved fuel, got the car all the way to the end. A very long green flag stretch to the checkered flag. Millett takes the top honor. Jonathan Arndt just practicing some donuts in front of pit lane. That's fine. We all like to do them. Zach Millett rolling down the pit lane. I'd be wondering if Zach is looking for victory lane. Very well could be the case. If he's got enough fuel to get there. Oh, he finds the opening. We're going to step aside while he does that. We're going to be right back with our top 3 after this. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Phoenix Raceway, the LSR Cup Series Boats and Hose 156. Started off a little rough here this afternoon, but we got the rest of the race in problem-free. Zach Millett takes top honors. Drew Blaze was second. Sean Roberts brings it home into the third spot. Let's try and get a word with Zach Millett here and talk to him about his victory. Zach, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Well, you know as well as anybody, it didn't start off so great, but we got through the rest of it. Tell us about your race. It didn't seem that you had the pace to take care of Drew Blaze, but maybe some strategy pulled things off here at the end. What was the plan, and how did it pay off?
Yeah, I really thought there was going to be more cautions. The one caution where he went in and pit, it really kind of threw me for a loop. I was hoping I'd get another caution to maybe, get some fresher tires than he did, and it just kind of worked out in my favor in that aspect. If that didn't happen, I think he would have had enough pace to pretty much have the race.
Now we saw as the run went on, you were starting to save some fuel for sure. You were cutting the car off into turns 1 and 2. How close was it?
It wasn't too bad, but it'd be my luck if I didn't try to conserve. There'd be a green-white.
So how many laps did you think you really had to the end? Did you have enough for the burnout, or just wanted to get that thing to victory lane?
Oh yeah, we had another couple laps.
So that far, you're still saving tires, saving fuel on the last lap, and you had a couple laps remaining. Come on.
Oh yeah, better be safe than sorry. You know my luck in this.
Well, usually we're used to seeing you burn the tires off the thing, and then everybody else drives by you, even though you got the pace. Were you really close with Drew Blaze as far as being able to keep pace with him? We know in practice you couldn't touch that time that he laid down. I do also want to ask about qualifying. Both you guys started mid-pack or worse. Expected to see both cars on the front row. What happened there?
Well, he definitely had pace over me. I could not touch that time he got in practice. I was swinging at it probably a good 10 different laps. So I knew I was, on a short run 2/10 slower. But this it's pretty easy to run and conserve. My ideal line is to let off super early and just let it coast until I can get back to it. But qualifying, I had the pole, and he was just outside.
Well, maybe my live timing got all screwed up because it says you started 10th and he started 9th, but whatever. We'll just let it go.
Well, I wish. That'd be cooler, actually.
Yeah. Well, either way, Zach, congratulations on the victory here. Number one, what are your thoughts going into Dover Raceway next week? You got no broadcast for HBR TV, but still a great racetrack. Should be a blast. What are you thinking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make it. I'm supposed to work right now. I'm gonna try to see if I can scam myself out of that and make it. I haven't raced at Dover in a long time, so if I do get the day, I'm gonna have to do some practice for sure.
Well, certainly looking forward to it, Zach. Congratulations, man. Before we let you go, anybody you need to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you, Steve, and HBR for the awesome coverage as always. I'd like to thank the LSR guys for letting me in the league. It's always fun to race with them. And shoot me a follow on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, everything else. That S4 guy.
Zach Millett forgot his notes again.
Yeah, I'm never prepared, man.
All right, Zach. Congratulations, man. Thanks for talking to us. Good luck next week.
Thanks, man.
Zach Millett, winner here at Phoenix. Next, we'll go to the runner-up, Drew Blaze. Drew, it's Steve in the broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
Yes, I do, sir.
Drew, a second-place finish to Zach Millett again. It's got to be a tough one to swallow. You definitely had the pace on him, at least in practice. We saw that. What was the ultimate deciding factor? Was it just a matter of the pit cycle, or was he just didn't have enough at the end there?
I didn't have enough at the end there. I kind of pushed my tires too hard and got them too hot, and then was trying to search around on the racetrack, and pretty sure you saw me running up against the wall there too. Caught it a couple times, so yeah, it was, I banged off the wall a couple times, and then I got it together with Joseph Tucker a little bit. It was just over from there.
Tough break. Certainly lap traffic came into play as well. You weren't too far behind the 315 at that time. It was maybe 2.5 seconds, but Once you got in there with the lap traffic and then burning off the tires, it quickly slipped to almost 5-6 seconds and just too much to overcome, unfortunately. Again, you had great pace in practice, obviously qualifying as well. Is this one of the places that you kind of excel at, one of your favorite tracks, or not so much?
Not so much. I mean, the reconfiguration, the new track they did is phenomenal compared to the old one. But this has always been a tough place for me. I don't have too many laps here. But I mean, overall, it was fun. Me and Zach were running side by side. There was kind of a couple lanes there, and yeah, it's just a fun place to run.
Well, going into next week, we're at the Monster Mile, the high-banked concrete 1-mile oval in Dover, Delaware. What are your thoughts going out to that place?
I have a lot of experience at Dover and a lot of laps, so hopefully we can pull it off. I know how to run that place real well, and you know, just going out there, look to pick up a win, or you know, getting second to Zach is not too bad. So just trying to keep points up, you know.
True Blaze is one that wants a checkered flag. Don't tell me you want a good points day. Come on.
Hey, I always want to win, but you know, when it comes down to definitely counting on the checkered flags.
Championships are nice too. Definitely can't blame you there, Drew. Again, congratulations. Second place finish here at Phoenix. Before we let you get out of here, is there anybody you want to thank?
Definitely, man. Lonestar Racing, the Den Zones, Brian Romer, just you for broadcasting, Joseph, putting the whole league on. Couldn't do it without any of you guys. It's been a fun season.
All right, Drew. Congratulations, man. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
It was Drew Blaze, driver of the number 1 Miller Genuine Draft Camaro. Second place finisher here to Zach Millett once again. Always the bridesmaid. But again, as he said, running for points here, looking for a championship. Top 2s are a great way to get there. Of course, he'd certainly like to win some races. Maybe next week at Dover is the opportunity. Too bad that Zach Millett might actually miss next week, but nevertheless, good opportunity for the one of Drew Blaze. Third place finisher, Sean Roberts. We're going to go to Sean right now, get a word with him real quick. Sean Roberts, Steve in the HBR TV broadcast booth. You got a good copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear there, Steve.
Sean Roberts, again, a good run. I know you're a lap down, but it's still a top 3. It still counts. It pays the same number of points. And again, you're a lap down to Zach Millett and Drew Blaze. It's got to almost feel like a win. Tell us about your night and the strategy coming in and what you worked throughout the night to make it pay off.
Yeah, Drew and Zach, they were on a different planet than me. I mean, about fresh tires, I would hold on to them, but as soon as the tires started to wear out a little bit, they were gone. So initially, it was going to be a 2-stop strategy. And then with all the caution laps, I decided to stretch out and go with the 1-stop again. So nothing really special about that.
Well, either way, the top 3 finish isn't too shabby. We're going to take that, certainly. And I can't say that I blame you for it at all.
Chris, that whole run kept me honest. I could not make a mistake. Made any mistake, he was going to be right on my bumper.
We did see quite a bit of that battle, actually, with yourself and the 6 of Chris Goins. That was certainly fun to watch as well. Seemed to be relatively clean between you two, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, we never actually battled, but I mean, I was just able to hold a 1-second gap on him for the last 20 or so laps of the race.
Another thing,
you know, we were trading tenths a lap. You know, I give up one and I take it back. That kind of running going on.
That's still a battle, if you ask me.
Yeah,
it's a numbers battle, but it's a battle nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean, you know, Chris and I talked. Yeah, we had a blast him trying to chase me down, me trying to hold him off.
You guys are definitely some clean racers. Fun to watch out there. I did make note that it appears you do have a new sponsor on the side of that 66. You want to tell us about it?
Well, I actually don't know much about about K Designs, but they're the ones that, you know, did the livery on the car. You know, I got my Chen Doshan guys on the hood. You know, they saw fit to fit me with a livery for the car for the rest of the season.
Certainly good to see. We've seen that car without the stickers on it lately, and it just looks better when it's logoed up. So looking sharp out there, and a good finish to boot. Congratulations. Is there anybody else, Sean, that you want to thank before we let you get out of here?
Yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to my guys over at the United Esports Racing. We're going into our final week for the F3 series, and then we're going to be doing a touring car championship next month.
Very cool. Some road racing for Sean Roberts in the background. That's a plus. Congratulations on the third place finish here at the Oval. Good luck next week at Dover.
Thanks, Steve. See you next week.
Well, Sean Roberts, driver of the 66, your third place finisher here from Phoenix Raceway. Taking a look at the rest of the finishing order. Chris Goins, again, he mentioned the 6. Chris Goins finishes P4. Cody Anderson was 5th. Justin Johnson, after some struggles early on, finishes in position number 6. Joe Tucker still brought home the number 13, 7th. Had a good run, was up in that top 3, led some laps as well, finishes 7th. David Ballard was 8th. Jonathan Arnn, the 43, finished 9th. Ken Couch, the 08, finished 10th. Jesse Redding was 11th. Keaton Burnett, a tough night for the 26. There wasn't a corner on that car that was straight by the end of the evening. Turn 2 was definitely his arch nemesis, trying to get to the power. Couldn't keep the thing from swapping ends. Unfortunately for Keaton, finishes 12th, 38 laps down. Kevin Blue, another unfortunate incident with the 54. Coming out of the pit lane, well, I think it was Jesse Redding, 721, had a mechanical issue, tries to drop it down out of the racing line, and the two come together just as Kevin leaves pit lane. Ends Kevin's night. Mike Fahey, we saw him involved in the crash as well. He finished 14th. And then Michael Cole tried to get into the session, got in just enough to hit the timing and scoring to get credit for 15th, but unable to turn a lap here tonight at Phoenix. So he'll be credited with last place points, 15th position at Phoenix Raceway. Want to thank you guys once again. I know we started off horribly tonight. We try to get going here about 10 minutes before we get into qualifying, and then we try to cover some of the qualifying and then get you guys rocking and rolling for the race. We had an audio failure, a complete audio failure at the start. I lost microphone, I lost inbound audio, everything. Had to scramble for the right cords and the backup microphone, get it hooked up, restart the system, and get back up and running. We missed about, I think, 26 laps officially. But really glad that we're able to bring the rest of the 156 laps home to its conclusion, get the driver interviews taken care of, and move on. We got, again, an off week for HBR TV next week. That does not mean there is no race. So if you have access to the iRacing service, and in case there's no broadcast, I'm not sure. Justin may have a backup plan for that. Justin Johnson, again, the admin in the Lonestar Racing Series. May have a plan for that, but if you have iRacing, you can jump in and probably just watch along the same way that I do as a broadcaster. Of course, you don't get the fancy overlays and someone actually calling the action, but Dover should be a good one to watch, even if we've only got 14 or 15 cars show up. That is a fast, high-banked mile oval. It's going to be action-packed for sure. Again, Drew Blaze excited to be out there. Tune in and watch it. Again, Justin might have a backup plan. We shall see. But with all that said, I'll be back up and running here in 2 weeks from today, the Lonestar Racing Cup Series season finale, and that'll be at Daytona. So, of course, talk about action. We've got high speed, high bank, super speedway. It's going to be a blast. So make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be fun to watch. We'll go through all the points beforehand and all the good stuff, so you guys are all up to speed on who is eligible and so on and so forth. Again, deepest thanks from me personally for all you guys showing up here in the stream. We had participation in the chats. That's always a blast. I appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with us, and we'll continue to move forward and get better. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night.